going on, man? Today is May the 27th. It's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to all the vets. Thank you guys for the ones who do tune into the show. Even if it's just a family member, man, thanks for, serving and protecting our country, the greatest country in the world, in my opinion, the United States of America. So big shout out and salute to all the vets. And to everybody else that's tuned into the show as well, man. We got one NBA game on the board for today. I was going to talk about the WNBA games for tomorrow as well. We got 3 games tomorrow. Pretty interesting games in the W as well, but I think I'll save that for the show tomorrow. So we'll jump right into the one game that we do have for today. I do want to take a quick second and apologize for being a lot of minutes late today, a lot later than I typically am. Just mic difficulties. I don't know what it is, but mic just seemed like it worked when it want to work, and then it don't when it don't want to work. So had to reset that a couple times and get that situated. So I apologize for that. But let's jump into it for today, man. Yesterday I gave out two plays. The Minnesota Lynx team total to go over 81.5 was a pretty easy winner. Shout out to Kayla McBride, who missed one shot yesterday. She had one of the greatest WNBA shooting performances ever yesterday as far as her efficiency. And Elena Smith, man, she stretched the floor as well. If you've not watched the Lynx play, this team is clicking on all cylinders, even on the second leg of a back-to-back third game of 4 nights. They went to Atlanta yesterday and got the outright win as a 4-point dog yesterday. And the other team from Minnesota, not doing as much. The Minnesota Timberwolves, I took them first half yesterday. And just honestly, I don't think they can stop Luka and Kyrie. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. The role players played better for the Dallas Mavericks in the first half at home as well. And it wasn't even until the third quarter that Minnesota started to play a little bit better. Still ended up losing the game, of course. But I liked the first half a little bit more than full game just because I knew that, I talked about it yesterday. Dallas Mavericks got the better closers in this series, in my opinion. And that's pretty easy. Like Kyrie and Luka, with especially the way Karl-Anthony Towns been shooting the basketball and Anthony Edwards. Seems like this team's running out of gas. They really just don't got to. I mean, it's almost like giving them an excuse that they're running out of gas. I wouldn't say that they're running out of gas. I would say that they legit just can't stop Luka and Kyrie. That's what it looks like, in my opinion. Credit to, the Oklahoma City's defense, because it looks a lot better than this Minnesota Timberwolves defense. #1 rated defense and defensive player of the year, and it's not really mattering at all. So the updated numbers, as you guys can see, are on the right-hand side of the screen. The NBA playoffs continue to be brutal to me. Almost, a little bit over 6 units I'm down. In WNBA, the play was a half unit play yesterday, so it brings us almost up to a full unit. As the season goes on, WNBA plays will be a little bit bigger. So, T-shirt contest giveaway. I don't think I saw a winner yesterday. I think a lot of people wanted Timberwolves. I'll double check it, but I don't think I saw a winner. If you are interested in participating today, just let me know who you think is going to win the game between the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. Get one guess. Let me know the team that you think is going to win and the projected score of the game. One guess per contest. All of the T-shirts and the trucker fitted caps have been sent out as well. I put all those in the mail already, so you should get them if you've won recently. Just make sure your entry's made before the game actually tips today. Let's go through a couple of the comments real quick, just because it should be a quicker show. Derek says the NBA taking all the money. I won in the NFL. Oh, that he won in the NFL. What up, though, Chris in chat? What up, man? What up, Mark? Garrison says, good morning, Chris. How about the Mavs? Sweep incoming. Could get him out the way for sure, man. Jamie says, good morning, Chris in chat. Like I said yesterday, Mavs money line was the only play. Okay. Rottweiler, good morning to you. He says, I had PJ Washington to hit 2 threes and that saved me last night. Bro, me and PJ Washington look nothing alike. Absolutely nothing alike. Jamie says, I think that tonight the game goes over to 222.5. We're going to talk about that in a second. What up, Donovan? Takari, good morning as well. And Boss says that the Pacers stay in it, the over is definitely hidden. What up to my guy? Anthony in the chat. B. Philly says, good morning, Chris. Let's get to money. I'm with that. Nathan says, don't worry about being late. Chris. Shout out to my guy Ski, man. Shout out to my guy Ski. The real ones know about this comment, even though I haven't been able to make Ski's show in a while, it feels like. What else y'all saying in the comments? Midnight Toker says, I'm rolling with the Celtics sweep over tonight. What up to my guy Eric in the chat? David says Sam Hauser under 3.5 points or any under for him. It cashes every game. Yeah, that's an interesting one, David. He has like really struggled to shoot the basketball. The Celtics bench has not played well in these playoffs at all. Javman says the over been hitting every game. We're going to talk about the total. Sounds like a lot of people like the over. Futon says been riding with TJ McConnell over a 3-pointer made. Books finally catching up to the line, making it at plus 102. I mean, the opportunity is going to be there. We're going to definitely talk about TJ McConnell as well. Maurice says Holiday under 14.5 points. We'll get there. Cal says, I agree with Futon Bet. What up, Cal? He says TJ McConnell about to go off tonight. Yeah, we seem like some TJ McConnell love. Even though Maurice says under 14.5 points, I don't think I would do that. Derek says, good morning. Good to finally make a show. It's been a minute. Appreciate the hard work as always. Chris, appreciate you for being here, Derek. Let's jump into the I feel this is the way I feel too, Truth. He says, no WNBA, I'm hurt. And I'm hurt too, man. I needed the WNBA for today. But we got 3 games tomorrow, man. I think it's a couple ways to get paid tomorrow in the WNBA. Let's jump into it. So we got the Celtics and the Pacers. This is game 4. Of course, the Boston Celtics are up 3-0 already. They did win game 3. It was a crazy comeback. I think they were down 18 points, and they stormed back to win the game, outscoring the Indiana Pacers. I think it was 33 to like 21 in the second half. And it was a tale of two halves if you like the Pacers. The first half was the better play. Of course, they got out to a very hot start, specifically in their second quarter, where Boston, didn't shoot the ball as well, and the Pacers, was running it up. But if you look into the game, the second half, the Pacers only scored like less than 45 points. And we know that this is a Pacers offense that is predicated on pushing the ball, scoring a bunch of points. That's the way that they want to win games, is by outscoring you. This game to me has so first we got to talk about the injuries. Because Halliburton, we don't think that he's going to play, but he is listed as questionable. It sounds like he's going to try to test out that hamstring. I don't think that he's going to be ruled in, but he is listed as questionable. Same thing with Luke Cornett, who missed the last game for the Celtics. Drew Holiday, who played, even though he was a little under the weather, also listed as questionable. That's a big part of this game if they decide to rest him for this game. And then, of course, Porzingis has already been ruled out as well. I don't think that Boston wants to rush him back. Give him as much time as they possibly can, especially with the big layover they're going to get, when they get to the finals. Granted, I don't think the Pacers are going. I think we can say that pretty confidently that the Pacers aren't going to the finals. So in this game, first thing that jumped out to me when I go back and I kind of look at game 3 was the points in the paint. With no Porzingis, Indiana is really taking advantage. Indiana was a team that really like to get downhill. They like to push the pace as much as they possibly can. Get 2 feet inside the paint. And in this game, it was TJ McConnell, Miles Turner, and the player of the game, if they would have won, was hold on, I'm trying to get this to load real quick. Was Andrew Nembhard. Dude had 32 points, career high, 4 for 7 from the 3-point line, 12 for 21 from the floor. The question here is, do we think the Boston Celtics? I do think the Boston Celtics are going to win today. I don't think the Pacers are going to push this to game 5. And that's my personal opinion. I just think that Pacers don't play enough defense, and the Celtics will be locked in here, in my opinion, to be able to win the game. Now, do they cover the 7.5 point spread? I'm not sure. I think the easiest way to play the game, in my opinion, is to just take the points to continue to go over. I know people have been talking about it already in the chat, but in game 3, Indiana, they scored 111 points, and they shot just 5 for 22 from the 3-point line. I think they shoot a little bit better. I think they can still kind of, control the paint. Like I said, they absolutely abused the Boston Celtics inside the painted area. And, that's a lot of that is just pulling Al Horford, who isn't the greatest rim protector, but can still protect the rim at times, pulling him away from the rim. And then, you go one-on-one with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Those guys are pretty good defenders, but they can't, stop anybody from scoring in the paint. 68 points. It was 68 to 40 in points in the paint. So I am of the mindset that the Pacers are going to continue to play hard. I don't think that this is going to be an easy sweep, but I do think the Celtics win the game. Do they cover? I'm not sure. I don't even want to bet on it at this point. But I do think that they win the game. I do think it's an over type game as well. Just expecting, the Pacers to continue to play fast. We know that they won't slow down. Continue to get up a bunch of shots. They got 91 shots up in game 3. And I think that all of those things are going to continue. The Boston Celtics also been playing fast with them. So, let's see what you guys are saying about that before we get into a couple trends. I got a couple trends I want to talk about as well. Let's see. Kyle says, if anyone is trying to take a shot on the MLB today, Boston. He likes the Red Sox on the money line at plus 136. He says the Orioles returning from a road trip, and the bullpen is completely gassed. The Sox crushed Cole Irvin earlier this season. He says risky bet, but I think it's worth a shot. So Kyle throwing out some MLB in here. Derek says gotta be over 222 as we get back to the Pacers and the Boston Celtics. Says gotta be an over game and the Pacers plus 7. Celtics don't look interested in playing any other way than the first 3 games, and it looks like they will be sitting people in a closeout game. It's going to be interesting to see if they actually sit, though, and that's one of the reasons why I think I'm going to stay off until I know exactly who is going to be ruled in. Like, Luke Cornett doesn't really move the goalpost at all for me at all, but Drew Holiday would, and if he doesn't play, I mean, of course, that's less offense, but it's also a lot less defense. And the Pacers, their guards with T.J. McConnell and Andrew Nembhard played really, really well. So we're gonna talk about player props in a little bit of the player props and a little bit of trends as well in just a second. What else are we seeing here? Maurice says Nembhard over 6.5 assists. Derek's just waiting until 8 p.m. for the game is criminal. It is a super late game. Rich says over 222.5. All of the games made me money. So just thinking that happens again. Kyle says I was thinking similarly, Derek. I might just play Pacers team total over 107.5. What up, Life's a Drip? Thomas says I think the Indy goes over 107.5 as well. OJ says he likes Boston to win by double digits today. Taking them to win by 11 or more, plus 140. Okay. And Donovan says, this series is over tonight. BJ says Celtics about to lose. Boston in 5, not 4. I think I disagree with that. I think they want to get as much rest as they possibly can before. And if you're watching the Western Conference Finals, it looks like that series could be over really, really quickly as well. And I don't know what the trends are right off the top of my head, but I will say that there's a significant advantage, in my opinion, it feels like, for the team that does have the rest advantage in the postseason. At least the last few years, it feels like the team that's been more rested has been the team that has won the finals. So more incentive to get this series over with. And you don't want Tyrese Halliburton to come back if you're the Boston Celtics either. So, and plus the Pacers just don't play enough defense, in my opinion. When it really comes down to it, they can't get enough stops or score enough points, in my opinion, in the fourth quarter. So real quick, as far as the trends go, these are situational trends for today. The first one at the top says road favorites up 3-0, looking to close out game 4. This fits the Boston Celtics are 42-19 straight up, and the 32-27-1 against the number. 30-28-2 to the under. So most of these games go under when you have a road favorite trying to close out in game 4 in a sweep. The next trend, home dogs who covered but did lose in game 3. They're 1-7 straight up and against the spread, losing by an average of 10 points in game 4s. So what this tells me is that the team that fought really, really hard in game 3 typically does not have the juice in game 4. They fought hard as they possibly could in game 3, and then they end up losing in game 4. That says that the Boston Celtics win today. Also, excuse me. Also, if you add that same trend that we just talked about, if you add that the home dog is looking to avoid being swept, 1-5 straight up, 1-5 against the number, 4-1-1 to the over in game 4. And I kind of highlighted the trends for the total. So this to me does this to me does indicate that the game probably goes over. Closeout games typically go over in general, maybe not when a sweep is in the realm of possibility, but closeout games typically go over. I do think Boston will be able to score. I think the Pacers will be able to score in this game as well. And I'm just kind of waiting. I want to see what happens with Drew Holiday with that illness. that'll let me know, in my opinion, how serious Boston wants to take this game. Drew Holiday went through shoot around. He did not go through shoot around in game 3. He went through warm-ups in game 3 and then determined that he felt good enough to play after missing shoot around in game 3. So we'll see what happens. I think that the day off probably makes him feel a little bit better. And I would imagine that if he played in game 3, he'd also play here in game 4. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, the trends kind of back Boston here. Home team did not cover game 3. They typically get smoked in game 4. You guys can see here, losing by an average of about 10 points per game in game 4. So those are what the trends say. Let's see what you guys say about that. Mom is just a bet. Good morning. Thomas likes Jaylen Brown over his 5.5 first quarter points. Think he keeps going. Dave says Pritchard at only 6.5 over. I'm not sure, Dave. I haven't really been paying attention, digging deep into his numbers at all. Fat Guy Little Coach says, part of me feels in terms of story, Celtics and Mavs blowout 4-0 to look big for their matchup. I guess that's a storyline, I guess. Cal says, wow, those trends are hideous if you're trying to bet Indy. Yeah, I'm not betting Indy in this spot. It feels like they had their shot in the last game. Indy plus the points is not a way that I'm looking. I also don't want to lay the 7.5 either, so that's why I'm kind of looking more towards the total. This is very symbolic, in my opinion, of game 1 as well, right? We talk about teams that come into the playoffs, and the dog that comes into a series, and they get really close to winning, but they fail to win, but they cover. Then they just can't replicate that same energy in the next game, and that's what happened in game 1. Game 1, Celtics probably should have lost. Pacers, fought really, really hard in that game, coming off of game 7. They lose the game, and then the Celtics end up covering the 9 in the next game, and you see the Pacers kind of just run out of gas. And it wouldn't surprise me if that same thing happened here. Pacers first half, I think, if you like them, probably going to be the best play here. McLean says, what about Boston first half? He says, I know Indy will come out swinging, but don't think they have enough. I think that's what I was thinking in the last game was Boston first half, and I didn't get there. Thank God I didn't. But Boston had been so good in the first half. I think if you like Boston, you wait. Pacers' best punch will come early, just in my opinion, as it did in game 3, and then you jump on Boston at halftime, whatever that spread is. Rich I says take the over 222.5. These teams play fast. Don't spend all Memorial Day ponding on overs. Left Lane says Indiana gonna come out punching, and the Celtics gonna do Celtics things and keep shooting threes. Yeah, that is a fact. I would agree with that. They will continue to shoot the basketball. Mark says Curry is on the outlier. Curry on outlier also supports the over. Power says, is this trend just in general or for conference finals? I think the trophy presentation is something Indy really will be embarrassed by. This is for the entirety of the playoffs, not just specific for the conference finals. None of these trends are specific for the conference finals, all just closeout games in general in the playoffs. All right, that's enough of that game. I did have Phoenix and Connecticut. I started to dive into the game, but I didn't complete it, so we won't talk WNBA today. Like I said, we'll just wait till tomorrow. But yeah, you got the Mercury. This line opened at 6.5. Is already up to 7, favoring the Connecticut Sun, one of the last undefeated teams in the W, maybe the only undefeated team in the W. The Connecticut Sun come back home after beating the Chicago Sky 2 nights ago, and they get the Mercury tomorrow. Mercury just lost outright as a 3-point home favorite against the Dallas Wings 2 days ago. So yeah, we'll touch on that game tomorrow. I won't get too much into it today, but the Mercury defense is trash. So I will be probably looking towards Connecticut Sun team total to go over, thinking that the Mercury continue to play fast. But we'll talk about that game tomorrow. Short list is here, right? So, and I forgot to mention TJ McConnell. I said it, I would. TJ McConnell, points, rebounds, and assists. Not sure what the line is, but and I'm not big on playing props, but Halliburton, we don't expect him to play. He's highly unlikely to play. I don't forecast him being in the lineup today. And TJ McConnell gonna have the keys to the whip, man. 23, 9, and 6 in game 3. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. And in my opinion, TJ McConnell, when I'm betting on a player, especially in a closeout game, I need to bet on a player that got that dog in him. And TJ McConnell, in my opinion, definitely has that dog in him. I think he's going to continue to play hard to try to help do everything he possibly can to avoid this team from having a sweep. Do I think that Aaron Nesmith is going? I mean, not Aaron Nesmith. Do I think that Andrew Nembhard is going to have the same game? I don't think so. I think he could regress a little bit, but I'm not expecting TJ McConnell to regress for so much. I think he had the ball in his hands plenty. Especially without Halliburton being out there. So I would be looking towards TJ McConnell to go over his points, rebounds, and assists. I probably wouldn't even pick between, points, rebounds, or assists. I would just combine all of them together. And then you guys can see the short list here as well. If you think that the game could slow down in pace, as similar to what happened in game 3. So there were Boston had 57 points at halftime, and the Indiana Pacers had 69. Game flew over in the first half, but the second half saw a much more slower paced game. Only 45 points scored in the third quarter, and only 54 points scored in the second half in the fourth quarter. So under 100 in the second half. When the first half went well over, you probably want to play the first half to go over instead of the full game. And then I'm also leaning towards the full game to go over as well, though. I just kind of feel like, I'm not sure if I'll get there with either one of them, but I kind of feel like these two teams are only going to continue to play fast. I don't think Boston's going to be super locked in defensively in this game. I think they're just concentrating on trying to outscore Indy. And I always talked about Indy, some offensive aggression from them being able to shoot the ball. They shot just 5 for 22 from the three-point line. Expecting a few more of those shots to go in today, even without Halliburton being a part of that offense, because I don't think he's going to. So that's why I like the totals, why I like both totals. Hopefully they help. And TJ McConnell over his points, rebounds, and assist prop today. Let's see. What else? Just a couple more comments real quick. Bhutan says Boston raced the 31st quarter. Derek says Connecticut are not covering against quality teams this year. I would agree with that. I don't know how quality the Mercury going to be from a defensive perspective. They couldn't stop Arike Ogunbowale to save their life. They are winning, but not covering. You're right, Derek. I think they're 5-0 straight up and 1-4 against the number, something like that. Mark says, good luck, everyone. Hit the like button. Appreciate that, Mark. Derek says over 164 and the points. Arike as hitting shots last game. Arike was hitting shots last game. Drew says, Chris, WNBA is your sport because you don't know what you're talking about with the NBA. Drew, you got to be new here. Appreciate that comment, though, Drew. Best of luck, man, today. Fred says, good morning, fellas. Sorry I'm late, Chris. Chris, what's good? Lost 250 last night. Didn't get to your WNBA. What was Boston first? What about Boston first? Boston first quarter, Boston first half. I like them as the game goes on, honestly. Howard says, Drew comes to play today. Last possession, gonna eat him up. We see who he really is today. Yeah, that's Drew Holiday making a really good. I think you're talking about Andrew Nembhard power. I think that's Drew Holiday making a really good play on the ball. And you listen to the post game interview. Drew Holiday said, he had been going right all game, so knew that, kind of anticipated the play. He was coming back to his right and poked the ball away to win the game. Douglas says he's with Fred. Don't think Boston is going to let Pacers come out hot like that last game. Tonio said Boston should cover today. Kyle says, I'm leaning towards Indy plus the points, but not going to lie. Those trends got me feeling a little weird, a little worried. And yeah, Kyle, I have no idea what to do with the game. I guess we'll talk about it in a few hours, or in an hour and some change on your show, but I haven't bet it yet. I think I like the total a little bit more. I'll stay off the side. I should have bet Dallas and Minnesota over yesterday. It was on the short list, and if I had bet the whole short list yesterday, it would have been a profitable day, 2-1, but 1-1 because we didn't bet the over in that game. Yeah, Drew. I was on Timberwolves yesterday. That was a loser. I cashed in the W though. Boston on the spread, Donovan says. All right, let's get up out of here. I'm rambling at this point. Drew Holiday's a huge piece for Boston. If he doesn't play tonight, Pacers have a shot. I agree with this comment from Derek. Cal says, I think I'm going to throw down a big same game parlay. We got prop guys coming on. I think I'm just going to combine whatever they say on the show today. Take a home run swing. Go out with a bang, Cal. The series probably going to be over. Why not? Maybe a smaller unit size. Midnight Toker says the sauce. He says there's a $50 no sweat MLB on BetMGM for Boston at plus 136. Okay. All right, that's the show for today. I haven't bet a play in the WNBA, in the NBA yet. I didn't make any WNBA plays for today either. I kind of want to check the rosters behind the games cap. So when the injury reports drop for tomorrow, I do know what size I want to be on in those 3 games. I did see the Fever are laying 6 points at home against the Sparks, which is crazy to me. I'm probably going to be on the Sparks. No way I'm laying 6 points with the Fever tomorrow. I got to check the injury report, though. But here are resources for you guys. Money Baller, I talked about them. And, shout out to Ronicle Bang and the rest of his business partners, A-Wing, all the guys that put together this really, really cool website. Definitely check them out if you guys haven't. It's a one-stop shop for handicapping MLB, WNBA, and NBA. I'm pretty sure they have some NFL stuff coming as well. And I always got to shout out OzJam. 25% off your first month if you use code CBC when you sign up. And then there's other, really great, in my opinion, resources that I use to handicap the game as well. So definitely check these out if you guys are interested. Best of luck on all your action today, man. If you're still here, do me a favor, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Link for all my plays when I do make them will be in the description. Best of luck on all your action, bet responsibly, and I will catch you guys in the next one, man. Enjoy your Memorial Day. I'm out.